if I was on the planet and then I went, walking around for like a bunch of kilometers away from my house and then died, the only place I could spawn back would be at the house there, right? But I couldn't spawn
Yeah.
back up here, and I couldn't spawn over at Boris. That's cheaty teleportation, according to our
Yeah.
own rules. And yeah, so that's basically the rules that we follow. And I do actually sometimes try to keep all of my bars up without dying, but I've seemed to be really bad at that in this current session. In the last session.
Um, you play with your hood off though, don't you?
Yeah,
Because
I do.
it's
That's why.
so
Like, so my warning,
distracting.
my warning that I'm dying is the red screen going kabong, kabong, kabong as I die is basically my warning. And that's why I have no time, because I'm like literally dying by the time I notice it. Yeah, I go back and forth with it on and off. Like the new HUD actually is really nice, and I don't mind having it on so much. And the people, the comments and stuff too, said that they don't mind it so much either.
Yeah.
Interior
See,
plates
the
and
thing
construction
for me
components.
when I'm welding is I can't, if you don't have your hood up, you can't see what you're dropping into the tubes, like what you're welding. You don't
Yeah.
can't see what's part built and what things need and stuff like that.
No, and I totally agree. The
I might be able to switch bits off.
what I do actually is I've become extremely good, and now it's become harder because they have like the 3-tab effect to turn your HUD off now. But I've actually I turn it off when I'm not welding, and then like as I fly away and pick up stuff, then I come back, the HUD comes on as I weld, and then as soon as I'm done welding, it goes off, and I don't even realize I'm doing it. Like my finger just hits
Right.
the tab key without me even
Yeah.
knowing it. Like I come up and I just did it there. I just flew up to see what I needed, and then as I fly away, it'll come off. Right? Just I don't even think about it. But yeah, so we need things that we don't have built here. So I'm actually what I'll do now is because we have all of the connecting ones there, I'll start making the leaves.
Yeah, okay.
So I need to build at least a few interior plates just so that I have the components I need to drop stuff. So I'll put a few of those in front of what you're doing.
Yep, no problem.
Inventory. Oh, and then it's gonna. Can I just cancel that? You got the repeat thing going, so.
Oh yeah. You can just switch off the repeat or drop it in front, and by the time we get there next, because we're going to need lots of interior components anyway, interior plates.
That's true. So if I.
We need all these things.
Well, it's weird how. That's weird how the repeat works. Like when you put something behind it,
You get the 2 piles, you mean?
Yeah, and it makes like new piles of it going. But then if you put another thing behind it, it puts them like another pile behind it as it builds the one it's building. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting how that works. So let's grab the interior plates that I just made. So grab those. So I've got some steel and some interior. That should be enough to get the leaves being built out now. All right, so now I need to mimic what we got going on here.
And I think for a while, actually, I am going to switch off the solar panels and we'll put in some power cells.
Oh yeah, we got all this
Look at it
power
making
generation,
moves.
but no storage.
Yeah. We'll just see what the power cells need.
I'm at the moment now in the build that I really miss symmetry.
That's the thing where you do it once and
Yeah, well,
it
when I
gets
built this
comfortable with
in
the
creative, I had symmetry on 4 axes or on 2 axes, right? Where when I would place a block down on one side, it would place it on all the other 3 sides. So I'd only have to build out one side, and then the whole thing was made. Of course, you also don't have to weld anything up or gather components, but I would be happy with just the
Yeah.
ability to do like symmetry with the scaffolding. In
Have you
survival.
seen? Oh, now I'm not going to be able to remember the name of the game. Another space game. No, I can't remember. I can remember what it looks like. It's kind of like Space Engineers and a bit like Elite Dangerous, but the building's better than in Space Engineers. You can do more detailed builds. Minty was talking about it. He got very excited one night and then asked us all to guess, and I guessed which game he was talking about.
All right, so it's a game where you can build in blocks like this.
Mm-hmm.
And is it like, I know that there's one that's called Empyrean. I've never played it. Is it Empyrean?
It's not Imperium.
Okay. Because I know that one is a buildy game as well. I'm trying to think. Like, I know that there's one that isn't out yet that I've kickstarted called Dual Universe. Is it that?
No, it's not that.
Not
Do you know,
Dual
I've
Universe?
got it on
Okay.
my wish. Second, I shall tell you.
When you say it, it'll be like, oh, I know which game. It'll be
Oh,
like, oh
absolutely.
yeah, why did I think of that?
Yeah. Avorion.
Avorion. Avorion. I've heard of it actually. Yeah, I've never played it. I think it's on my wish list. Actually, it is on my wish list.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about it before. I threw it on my wish list as a reminder. Like I use my wish list on Steam as just a reminder of games that I'm interested in that I may or may not want to purchase in the future, and it kind of, because also the way Steam works, right, is if you put it on your wish list, if it goes on sale, you get a notice.
You
right?
get to know about it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I use it literally just as that, and then I'll decide. Then it's like, you know what? Do I really want this game, or not? Or actually, or the other question normally is like, do I have actually time to play this game?
Yeah. Because I have a rule with myself where I'll put anything on my wish list, but then if it comes on sale and it's, in the 50% mark and I still don't buy it, then I figure I'm not really interested. I'm not as interested as I thought I was, and then I'll take it off my wish list.
Oh, yeah. Like if it comes on sale. Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah. So I make that choice then. It's on sale. Am I going to buy it, or am I going to remove it from my wish list?
Interesting, yeah.
Most of the time, I find myself removing it from the wish list because it was just a thing of the moment.
Right. Yeah. See, I don't have that rule. I think that I probably should institute that rule. It's a good rule. Because I've got games on my wish list that have been there for like ever now.
Yeah.
Like ones that I think look really cool, and I'd like to try and play, but then I don't get around to it, or and even when they go on sale, I don't purchase them. Like one of them was that Planet Base. Like I've always wanted to try that, and I've got it on my wish list, but it's just like, and it's not an expensive game, but it's just time, right? It's just like, don't have time. I want more time.
Yeah. So I've been watching Merry Gamer playing Planet Base, and it feels like something I'd enjoy. And again, just haven't quite got around to it.
Yeah, no, it's totally like up my alley. I think it'd be an awesome game to play. And that's why, like, and again, so it's kind of like that. Oh, jeez, I keep putting this out in the wrong direction, but it's kind of like one of those where, like, that's why I don't take it off the list, right? Because it's like, I'd kind of like to play this, but I just don't have the time, so I'll just leave it there. And then maybe when it goes on sale again, I'll have the time.
Yeah. I think because there's some things where I will, when it comes up on sale and I look at it, I think, 33% off. I am still interested, but am I interested enough?
Right.
If they knocked more money off it, would I buy it, even though I'm not going to get around to playing it for a while? And I'll have one of those conversations with myself. And because sometimes when they, the Steam summer sales and stuff like that, where things are going 80% off, and I'll buy my entire wish list in one go.
And then they'll just sit there in your library forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I've got a library full of things that were mostly bought on sale. And I've got an inventory full of things as well where I've thought, oh, that's a really good deal. I really fancy the sound of this. I'll buy 4 of them.
Right. Yeah.
I'll give the other
Buy
3 to
four
some
of
people
them,
to play
that's
with me.
Boris, I think, has done that a couple of times. When it's like
Yeah,
he's when he gets a game and he
uh-huh.
wants, like, he plays it and he goes, oh, this is a great game, I want other people to play with me. Then he'll just like buy a bunch that he can
Buy
gift
4 of them.
to the other people. It's like, okay, you have no excuse, you have to play with me now.
Yeah.
Of
Did
course,
he
that
do that with
backfires on
Battlegrounds?
him a few times too when he can't get rid of them.
Yeah. I've gotten him. Yeah, I've still got all kinds of things in my inventory, which I just go through a purge every so now and then, and insist on people taking things off my hands.
Right.
Right, what was I just looking at? I saw something that needed small steel tubes, and I can't remember the other thing it needed. Or are we out of small steel tubes as well? Right, let's put small steel tubes into
Into the queue list.
the queue list. Yeah. And in fact, we can put solar cells in as well. And then...
Well, at least, you know what? At this point, when we finish this session, we'll have the scaffolding all kind of built out, a lot of it actually constructed, and then we'll know what we're missing, and we can let all of that stuff just kind of like build out between sessions, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see. So maybe that's what we should do right at the end, is figure out what are all the things that we need to build forever of.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we'll just put them in, and then when other people are on the server,
They'll
things
build.
can just be manufacturing. Indeed. So there's always the risk that we come back to the ship and we found somebody's raided it.
You mean like the evidence stands right there?
Yeah. I know. I overheard Mia and Almond one day discussing what they were going to do about their lack of. They needed thruster components and they needed gold. I let them take some gold ingots, or I told them they could take some gold ingots. But there was because everybody else is they're actually further ahead than us in their builds.
Yeah, I know,
From what I've seen.
It didn't help,
then
though, that we got attacked by every asteroid or every meteor in the game.
Yeah. And because we're building out in open space as well, we don't have any direction where we're sheltered by an asteroid. So I think that's why we were getting the worst effects of it. Like, while the meteors were targeting your house and your house was behind the rock, that wasn't too bad. We could just get on. We were doing well.
Yep. Then we weren't.
Yeah.
All right, so there's that. And then I need a... Oh, I do need another sorter. I took the sorter off my list because I thought I didn't need it anymore. Silly me.
Wasn't that? It was a battery. I was welding up a battery.
The batteries.
Right. If I was stood with my back to the ship and I was looking at batteries, which batteries would I be looking at?
What?
I had... Because I have a tendency... Like, we're making 4 of everything. So what I tend to do is I got my back to my ship and then I will weld the closest one to me and then work my way around. And now I can't see which batteries I was... Where are the batteries? Oh, here it is. Okay, found it.
And you know when you started that statement, I was like, I thought you were going to go with, like, if I was a battery, where would I be?
Yeah.
Okay, so was there not a way to make an object that you want to place, like, go further away from you or closer to you in its little hologrammy thing before you place it?
Oh.
I thought you could, like, alt wheel mouse or control wheel mouse it, and it's not working. But maybe that's only in creative?
Maybe.
But because it's like I'm like too close to see what I'm doing, and I want to back it up. All right, so that Does it go? Now I need to back up and see.
It's not when you're trying to place a refinery by any chance, is it?
Yeah.
I find refineries are the hardest thing to place.
It's exactly what I was trying to place, actually.
Uh-huh. And especially if you're trying to align it so that you've got it the right way up, so that your words are the right way up and all of your ports are in the right place.
Yes, that's what I'm actually trying to do right now.
Mm.
So that looks like it goes there. I think that is correct. This will be a very bad thing to get wrong.
Yeah.
I'll have another mirror moment where he comes over and says, "It's like, do you realize that none of these things are connected?"
Or he just tuts, and then and then you turn around and look back, and he's busy grinding something. It's like, what are you doing? This thing wasn't working properly. You had it upside down. It was the wrong way around. It was back to front.
Yeah. Well, so I gotta thank him. Like he totally fixed my house, because like it was so funny too. Because I built the whole thing in creative, but see my problem with creative, I find is I get way more interested in trying to make it look like I want, as opposed to making it actually work. And I've done that a few times where like, and it's funny because I always start with it needs to be functional. So I build in a way where, okay, I got everything I need in this thing. And then I start retrofitting it to make it, aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. And then while I do that, I move things around but I still have all the components that I needed, right? And so then I end up in a situation in the end where things may no longer connect right, because they all connected right at first, but they don't anymore because I moved everything around. But it looks gorgeous. Yeah, I've had that happen to me a few times. And then the other thing that I always forget to do in creative, and then I really regret it in survival when I build it, is name everything properly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I always find that that's a thing. So I need the modules. What do we want? We want yield. Yield, baby. Give us the yield.
Oh, got a little lag spike there.
Yeah, I haven't actually had any of those this session.
No, it's been fairly stable, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Fairly well behaved.
Fairly well behaved. That's right. Space Engineers has been been good.
Fairly well behaved.
That's right. We don't have to put it in the corner today.
It's about as good a compliment as you get. It's like a naughty child who, when they get a C on their school report, you think, actually, you didn't do too bad this time. Well done. You were fairly well behaved.
That's right, yeah. We expected you to be atrocious, but you were actually okay.
Yeah. And for that, you get a gold star.
You get a gold star for being mediocre. Yeah, but in a way, you're still rewarding good behavior. You're still rewarding the behavior you want to see. So
yeah, absolutely.
Just can't let space engineers know that that's what we're doing. Then it'll get as long, you know what, I think space engineers is an angsty teenager.
An angsty teenager.
Yep, angsty teenager. Just pulls fits all the time.
Word, just...
Yeah. Doesn't want to listen to you. No authority is any good except for its own. Yeah, my son is about to go into teenage mode.
I was just about to ask.
I'm worried. I'm so worried. Yeah, he's almost 14 now.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming. I know it is. I've already seen some clues of it already in this last year. but it's already starting to come. I can see the inklings of lip. All right. And it's good in a sense, right? Because this is the time when they figure out who they are as people. But
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm not like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like I know it's going to be difficult because it's way more challenging as a parent, but it's also a period of time that they need more than anything else. So it's like a really interesting balancing act of parenting and letting them figure out who they are.
Mm.
All right, so we need batteries. I think went right here, right? Is that how they went? Let them explore who they are as people, decide what they want to do with the rest of their life, or at least the next phase of their life. I'm not the kind of person that believes that that you need to figure out what you're going to do with the rest of your life before you go to college or university.
Yeah.
As I have personally changed my mind and changed my direction.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times.
Me too.
Yeah. And it's worked out in the end. So
yeah,
if you find yourself not liking what you're doing, feel free to explore something else and see if you like it more, and adjust course, right? I mean, there's nothing that says that you have to get it right, because you know what, you're not going to get it right when you're in your late teens, early 20s, or even when you're in your late 20s, early 30s. You're not going to necessarily get it right.
Even if you get it right because you have by chance picked the right thing that is right for you and is likely to be right for you at that moment, the world changes.
And you change.
When you change, the world changes, and then something new that you didn't know about comes along, and things that you would never have known about until you enter the workplace become fascinating. And then you find that actually you studied all the wrong things. You started your career on the wrong path. But you know what? That happens to almost everybody.
Yep. And the good thing too is that you like all of the skills that you acquired doing like most of the time they're transferable in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And it might not seem like they are at the time, but there'll be things that are easier for you in your next choice because of the stuff you did earlier.
Yeah. I think the one thing I would advise everybody to do, anybody, if you possibly can, if there's any way, shape, or form you can, is go to university. It almost doesn't matter what you study.
Yeah.
Just go to university. And if possible, go to a university that's not in your hometown so that you have that experience of living away as a student. But if you've got a degree in something, anything, or even if you've been to university and you didn't succeed in getting a degree, it's still so much more than not having been.
Yeah.
I think that's it gives you such a step up, even if you studied something that, I mean, I did mechanical engineering at university, and I am now retraining at work because of the way my random career has gone. My career has been very random. And now I would have been better off for what I'm doing now, I would have been better off if I had a law degree rather than the mechanical engineering degree.
Oh, wow.
My mechanical engineering degree you would think, was not very useful for something where what I do now is half law and half accounting.
Wow.
And I'm doing I'm studying at the moment. Work are paying for me to study further qualifications and become chartered, but I'm sitting 8 exams, 2 of which are in law, 2 of which are in accounting. There's 1 in strategy and 2 in governance. And yet, what was that? I've got power cells. I've got power cells in my inventory, and I'm trying to weld up steel tubes or conveyor belts, conveyor pipes.